Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to our Pyanodons playthrough. In this episode, we're going to start with getting a much more efficient aluminum recipe going. We will need a bit of coke as input though, so it might be high time to work on our coke belt, which is not exactly what it sounds like. So we will probably be using the... I'm trying to decide which recipe I want to use actually. Until green science, we don't get a better one, but we can make 4 coke per 5 coal and get coke oven gas as an output, or we can essentially make 3 coke per 5 coal and get coal gas and tar, which could be lots of things. And I'm just not really sure which one I want to do. I think I'll go with the coke oven gas one. That will allow for having... it's 80% efficient instead of 60%, so we end up with a lot more coke in the long run, and I think potentially it'll take up less room. Like if I want 10 coke and filter by product, we either need 10 high pressure furnaces or 5 destructive distillation columns. And if you remember how big those buildings are, I think 10 furnaces is a lot smaller. And 3.1 megawatts versus 1.6, so bit more power to do it this way, but we can always use some coke oven gas to actually create power. Technically, this is 50 megajoules worth of power. So, if we're going to do it this way, and then to get our coal... I wonder if that's any good, the Fawoge to raw coal growth. We'll have to check that out at some point. Again, we could use the destructive distillation columns to get 30% of our raw coal turned into regular coal, but we unlocked a much better recipe with the crushing. I just have to find which page that's in. Here we go. Not that one. Apparently we can make raw coal out of biomass, but at a completely horrible ratio, so that's interesting. But here we go. We'll get 2/3 of our raw coal turned into regular coal, and then once we get green science, we can have crushed coal turn into 2 coal each, along with a coarse coal, which turns into essentially 1 1/3. So once we get that, we can get a ton of coal from raw coal, but for now we will have an output in excess. Wow, that's a lot of crushed coal. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with all of it in the meantime. And this build might be a little bit ambitious. 19 secondary crushers. That's a bit crazy. Let's see. Let's just look through real quick. My circuit boards are going to need somewhere around... Oh, also, I don't know if we've talked about this yet. I did make the circuit board Helmut chain because we're going to need circuit boards eventually. I would like to automate them at 1 per second. I think that's a reasonable amount. That will help supply circuit boards we'll need for green science, and it will also just allow us to not have to handcraft millions of them. But I'm not going to do that for a while, because we need lots of things, including the whole moon drop phase, and just a whole ton of things. So we're not going to do that yet, but we will want to keep this in mind when automating coke, because we'll need about 2.5-ish, maybe more. And then we're currently wanting about 2.5 for aluminum. We'll need it for all sorts of other things, so... And I'm pretty sure, is it... when we're doing iron plates, for example... Okay, we only need borax and sand casting. There's certain plates where we'll need an input of coke, but... Okay, well, we'll just maybe go for 5 for now, instead of 15. That's a bit more reasonable. Pin. I think I already have some high pressure furnaces. We need a few more. Let's see. 2 more. And then secondary crushers are infusing energy, which we've run out of simple circuit boards. Seems to be happening pretty regularly. So we'll grab a couple more stacks of copper, why not? Also, what's going on here? Oh right, I never crafted everything I needed to use a full belt of copper. So we'll have to fix that at some point. But for now, we'll go grab a bunch more copper cables. We'll give this guy a ton more copper. Grab some small parts. 6 stacks of cables, and I also decided I'm going to, well, I'm doing a few researches first of all that you can see. Just some more of the things that we'll probably need before green science. Random AlienLife things that I haven't even really done too much investigation into, but I am outputting my extra logs into another wood processing unit just so I can get some wood automated. And that's not a whole lot, 0.625 per second, but over time that might be enough for my circuit needs. Currently, circuits cost me 1 wood for 3 boards. So not a ton, but they cost me a ton of copper, you can see, and they're only available to handcraft, which is the main issue. The actual circuits that you automate are arguably just as expensive. I mean, if we look at all the inputs here, it is less copper, but we need some tar, we need some coke, we need a tiny bit of glass and iron and tin, we need a little bit of stone, tiny bit of hydrogen, tiny bit of soil. Soil is basically free, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, we need a little bit of everything. I think overall it's maybe cheaper, but very complicated. Let's get rid of our borax, because there's no reason to be holding that. And I also am holding logs that I don't want to be holding. I forget if I have a dump chest somewhere. Here we go. Oh look, I already had a bunch of secondary crushers. Forgot I put all this stuff in here. Okay, well we'll take that all back. And then I can make my raw coal to coke. Probably up here somewhere. I'm thinking maybe I maybe should have put sand casting up here too, because I'm thinking the more processing intermediates being above my bus, and then all of my actual belt, like ores and plates, will be below the bus. So I'll maybe put it right here, leave some space. And clear out some more space for trees. I do need more stone. I need more of just about everything, to be honest. So let's restock. Okay, I've got plenty of stone bricks. I now have plenty of stone. I don't think I need limestone for anything. Though you kind of need everything for different buildings. Get some more iron plates, get some more copper plates. Grab some more steel. Looks like I've used up a lot of the steel that I've made. And now we can make another factory building. And we've already got raw coal being turned into acetylene in here. Looks like. Right. So we'll be able to hook up this output of coke oven gas into what we end up doing with this building. So we'll have the raw coal come in from the top. Get our power connected up, first of all, that way we can see. Nice and bright lights. Okay, and then we need 6.25 secondary crushers. So I just ran out of belts. 2, 3, 4. So we can fit 4 crushers there. And another 3. And then 5 of these furnaces. And if we need more, we can just copy this. I think I'm going to move these down by 1 so that I have space to split my input. And we'll go grab a bunch more belts real quick, and I'll craft some inserters while we're doing that. Definitely taking advantage of the fact that I doubled my handcrafting speed. I don't regret that at all. Still is really annoying to handcraft things, so I'll need to make them all at some point for buildings, especially once you start getting tier 2 or 3 of buildings, because then you have to handcraft a lot more stuff just to get the buildings in the first place. And we'll grab some more pipes. I think I'm good on engines. And we just grab small parts and cables. Okay. Back over. I should also start laying down some more stone foundation, but we'll save that for another to-do list item. Each of these is 1.5 per second, so 2 inserters should be more than adequate. And then the output is 1.65 among 3 different resources. So I'll say we need 3 output inserters per. And then these will be long inserters. And the input will be coming down here. Now that I think about it, we can just nix this whole thing. And I can make this design quite a bit better if I just move it all 2 spaces to the left. I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and upgrade my nanobots. I do use them a lot, and I've done a lot of my red science researches. There's still a few I need to get done, but I'll spend 200 of my ultra expensive red science to make my life a little easier. Okay, this will be the output belt. And we will just go ahead and filter to the left on regular coal. And that will go over to our high pressure furnaces. And then we need 2 inserting from each. Like so. Okay. This might need to be moved down a couple squares. Put the inserting ones there and the outserting. You know, we could call them outserters. That kind of makes sense. Wait, that still doesn't work. We'll have to turn around here. And do it that way. Okay. And then all the bogus extras will come out that way. This one will stagger the outputs just because the other ones are balanced. Honestly, I like the idea of staggering every single one a little bit. I think in the long run that makes the usage of these buildings more balanced. So raw coal will come in. I think we've got everything good there. 1.25 for an input. And 1 for an output. So 2 in, 2 out will be how this goes. Okay, and then we'll have our coke coming down. That doesn't really work. I guess we can switch these again, so we have a bit more space to play with. There we go. 2 in, 2 out, stagger, stagger. Probably should have done that before I copied it. And then we'll have some coke oven gas, which we can use to get some free hot air. That will only become more useful once we have bots to carry the bricks around. I may just make a centralized hot air. That's actually a good question. How much hot air do things use? Like this whole chain uses 1.5 per second, and my potential iron line would only use 6 per second. So maybe I just put hot air in a pipe and pipe it around the base, rather than trying to move the bricks around. That's probably better. Okay, so coke will come out here. Detritus on the left, coke on the right. And now we need to run a belt over. Which we already have a couple belts of things. But honestly, this one, I don't really use that chest anymore. Ever since we worked so hard to automate our power. Oh, we've run out of underground belts. Always gotta make sure you have enough undies. Give myself 2 more squares. Perfect. And then come down. Alright, that should work just fine. And then that will come in, get crushed, regular coal, yeah. And we'll just have this connect. Guess I could use an underground right there. Input pipe, output pipe. Update every 2 seconds. Let's see if this works. Okay, looks to be working so far. We will need... Might as well use this guy. What's this called? A shed? Storehouse? Storehouse. So that'll last me a little while, at least. And there we go. Coke and coke oven gas as an output. So we will stack. I'm just going to use these compact loaders. They're way better than mini loaders. And then these stacking belt boxes should probably be on my hotbar as well. So then we'll have coke on one side of a belt. Bring that down. That'll be, let's see, these will be 8 different types of plates. I might need, gosh, there might actually be 16 types of plates, to be honest. So this is where the coke will be. Okay. And then we need to bring aluminum ore over so we can start working on our aluminum smelting along with, let's see, a little bit of stone brick, borax, sand casting. Borax and sand casting should probably be on their own belt as well. So if coke is on this one, we'll want borax and sand casting on this one. should probably have this blueprint just ready to go. So we'll put borax on one side and bring that down. The second layer here. Sand casting will come up from this guy. Out of belts again. Wow. Grab some more iron. And I'll feed this guy a bunch. Put a little bit more in here. A little bit more for my pipes. And we'll just take all 500. Because I'll use them. Okay, so sand casting. I think we decided it's not going to be stacked. That's okay. And what am I doing here? Okay, so borax is on the top of this one. We'll have sand casting come up from the bottom. Okay, there we go. So those things will be used in a lot of recipes. And now we want to bring in our ore. And process it. Yeah, I'm regretting not doing sand casting up there, but I guess I would have had to taken all this stone up there. So let's at least make the sand next to the sand casting. That just makes sense. And we'll go on the bottom of the coke line. Means it should actually switch over here like that. Okay. And then we'll bring aluminum ore over, and I think I'll process aluminum. We want to leave some space for iron. I might need another factory building as we expand production. So I'll do aluminum over here. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I'll leave space for building in between. That will be my aluminum building. We'll craft it. And now I gotta route the ore all the way over. I just haven't left myself a lot of room to route ore past things. You know, I guess we can go just past all this lead, like so. And if we want, we could route 2 types of ore on the same belt by stacking it, so I might do it that way. In a normal game, you'd be like, oh, why not just red belts? Well, red belts in Pyanodons are essentially, what are they called? Express? Fast. Fast belts are a long time in the future. Stainless steel is incredibly expensive and requires you to get so far in the game because of this aramid fiber, which requires molybdenum plates, which are pretty far into green science, and then you need this TCl, which needs liquid nitrogen along with nichrome, that needs gasoline, you need all sorts of things. And then the molten stainless steel requires cobalt extract, niobium, ferrochrome, phosphate, nickel. You know, we don't have any of those things. Sulfur. So, thus is life. Okay, so then this will be all of our aluminum ore. Come in from up here. Go across. That automatic underground belt feature is maybe my new favorite feature of 1.1. That is so nice. Okay, and then we want to stack and belt box like so. So we'll just run this straight over. We won't need this anymore. Hopefully I have, it looks like I have 1,000 plates to get me through building this whole setup. And for right now, I'm still manually feeding the coal gas generators here, which I also have plenty of iron oxide, ash, and coke as extra output. That's not super efficient. One idea I had is I could just use my tar that I've brought from, you know, this area and just turn that into coal gas directly. And then I don't have to worry about any byproducts except ash. But the problem with that is, I mean, you know, we need 10 coal gas per aluminum, so I'd rather actually use coal to generate that. You can also generate it in a renewable way if you have a bunch of wood. But the problem with a bunch of wood is we need to do what we did up here. We need to do this kind of multiple times. So I may need some sort of blueprint for the wood from nothing blueprint, which this is currently the wood from ash blueprint, which, depending on the usage, sometimes I'll do wood from nothing, sometimes I'll do wood from ash. But either way, I can also make coal gas from wood. But for now, we're still manually feeding, so let's grab another stack. Ooh, I'm out of fuel. How am I completely out of syngas? Something has stopped. Let's find out what it is. It's the ash. What do you know? We will fill up another chest. And that way we delay our problem until tomorrow. This is what Pyanodon's procrastination looks like. And it only gets worse. I should definitely, you know, we'll probably have an entire episode about, like, what are we going to do with all this ash and all these random places that have crushed coal? And because once we get to green science, though, then we don't have to worry about crushed coal. And we can do things like turning ash into flue gas. Actually, we can do that already. But I don't want to waste, and then you can just vent the flue gas. So you can just get rid of ash, but it turns out ash is pretty handy because it helps us grow logs, and you need it for rich clay, which is another pretty common recipe you need later. So I kind of want to keep it until I have bots, and then I can make stacks of 8 and just have the bots carry around stacks of ash. And then if I have excess ash at that point, after I'm using it in all the places, then I can vent it. But at least for now, we'll stick with the plan. Okay. Aluminum pin. Alright. So we still need hot air, but we've at least got our ore most of the way here. And I don't think it's crazy. I will put aluminum on the belt, but then I'll replace the aluminum ore with aluminum plates. So we'll have the ore come out to here. And then we'll do the... Well, we won't split it. We'll actually just steal the aluminum ore. And it will be coming in the top of this building. Yeah, that should be good. And we need to unstack it. Okay, there we go. Aluminum ore in, and then we need coke, stone bricks, borax, sand casting, hot air. Quite a few things. Unfortunately, we don't have stone bricks over here, but I can manually supply those for a while. But borax and sand casting, we do have. So we actually just need a full-on split of this belt. And then for this one, we need just the coke. See. My bus ends here. So maybe somewhere like here we'll do the split instead. The problem with stacking is this. You end up with a ton of stuff in your inventory that you have to dump. Once you get logistics spots, it's not as bad, but out of underground belts. I'm sure I could be doing this better. But here we are. So we've got borax. We can unstack the coal as well. Right here. We need more of these compact loaders. Oh, right, I'm not stacking the sand. What are these called? Sand casting? Okay. So that's good. So then really we want to merge the sand casting with the borax. Take that in. And then bring in the coke. And then hot air will come in from the top right there. And stone brick will be merged with the coke on this belt, which we don't have yet. So we'll just have a substitute. We'll give him some bricks. That'll be pipe. Okay, so I need a single ball mill. Processing 3 aluminum ore per second. And then output, oh, it's up to 7.5 in case we want to expand later, so we'll start with that. And then the output of gravel we'll need to get rid of. Which we can have go out to this building. But for now, output already left. Powdered aluminum. And the powdered aluminum goes into our 2.4 electric arc furnaces. So 3 of these. Start with the casting unit. We'll have hot air coming in from the top. So we'll just put our casting unit right here. Oh wait, I'm piping in hot air so I don't need bricks. Actually in the building. So we'll do that. And then these arc furnaces, we'll leave a little bit of space and do 3. But then I also need 3 making graphite. Maybe I should actually move these closer. I thought I had crafted those ahead of time. Apparently not. But what if I do... No, that's not going to work. We'll just put these down here. And I'll take this stone out of the equation here. And the stone will actually go... For now, we'll just do this for hot air. And then we need a pressure pump making pressurized air. Power it up and drop our stone bricks in. And then this is an input pipe. Okay. Connect up our molten aluminum, and then we need our coke. So the borax and graphite. Okay. Or I mean, sand casting. So left will be sand casting. That will come over. Be loaded in from the side. And then our coke will come down. Borax will need to go with two things. This needs to be out of the way. Powdered aluminum will come up and over. We'll mix that with the borax. And we'll use some underground magic. Okay. Ran out again. High pressure furnaces. Maybe I can handcraft a few belts, because I don't need 1,000,000. These are making graphite. 0.833. Technically, one should be enough. Yeah, we'll just do one. And then the graphite will come over. That will go in. Okay, that needs to go like so. Now we're just missing the powdered aluminum because the gravel needs to be gotten rid of. And for now, we'll do the thing where we put it in a chest. Okay, we're making molten aluminum. That's a good sign. We've got everything else we need. So we'll be getting a ton of aluminum plates soon. And I will pop down one of these loaders. And we'll go right out the side. Which one did I actually... Top. Okay. So they'll come out the top. We will stack them up. And there we have it. Better aluminum plates. Like a lot better. Oh yeah, we're going on the top of this belt. And this needs to be powered. Okay. Bam. And we'll do our little keep some for myself as well. Maybe up to 4 stacks. Okay. I think we're running on all cylinders. We should get rid of everything in our inventory here. Especially the borax. When stacks to 100, I'm going to have to go get rid of that somewhere else. But yeah, I think everything's working properly. So that feels good. So now instead of 10 ore for an aluminum plate, we're using about, I don't know, 1.5-ish. So then our Duralumin will be a lot cheaper. Duralumin. Oh, right, this is made in those massive smelters. So I do want Duralumin on the belt as well. So what we'll do, can I just craft? I can craft 2 of them. We're just gonna get it out of the way. I'm gonna go grab some more belts though. Tired of handcrafting. Okay, how are we doing on everything? We'll take our 500. I'll make a bunch of splitters, and then we'll take some more. Pipes are looking okay. And, oh shoot, smelters. That's this thing. They require a liquid fuel. That's right. So, we do already have one of them, though. That's nice. So the problem with that, and I need to put some more wood in here while I'm thinking about it. For red science. We should belt that down from up here. The problem with liquid fuel is I'm trying to I don't have anything over in my smelting area yet that I can use as liquid fuel. I could take some tar and make coal gas out of it and then make syngas out of that. So that might just be the best route to go. Or crude oil, actually. What can I do with crude oil at the red science tier? That's a question I don't know the answer to. So crude oil. I can make carbon black, which is what we'll do. Oh, I can make fuel oil. And how much is that worth? Where is it? Fluid fuel values. Oh, I have coke oven gas. I could use that too. But fuel oil is 8.8 megajoules each, so that's actually pretty good. I wonder what crude oil is just by itself. I didn't see it. Crude oil. 82.5 kilojoules, so that's horrible. Way worse than tar, even. But I can just make fuel oil out of crude oil, and we'll go with that. So I need a single DDC, and for Duralumin, 2, 3, 4. This will do 1 extra space. 2, 3, 4. Put that there. And we'll need some crude oil coming over. Over and up. That's the wrong thing. Okay, got crude oil. Then we need an input pipe, output pipe, destructive distillation column, input mode, update rate 2 seconds, making fuel oil, connect up to power. And then we need smelters. which are some of the biggest buildings I've seen in Pyanodons. These might even be bigger than the things that you make rubber in, which previously I think were the largest buildings I knew of. This is absolutely absurd. But the nice thing, you know, this is why Factorio is great. That all fits in a building smaller than a single one. Though sometimes the spaghetti logistics that you need for Factorio kind of nullify a little bit of how much you can fit inside. Once you get the tier 2 buildings, it's a lot better, but I don't know. So we'll just need copper and aluminum coming in. Of course, the other hard thing is you can't see, so I probably should be going left and right rather than up and down for this. Let's do that. Which means I'll need to move this. But we'll put our smelter kind of more aside here. Leave one space for the fuel oil. Our input belt will come from above. Come down past both buildings. Looks like 2 inserters should do the trick. And then we have our destructive distillation column. Connect this up to the fuel oil. These take 10 megawatts each, which is pretty crazy in terms of the total amount. But thankfully this works very quickly, so that provides 50, almost 50 megawatts. I guess 40, because 50 times 0.8. And then the output is much smaller. 1 inserter will be plenty. And we'll bring that up and out. So then I need to combine these 2 things. So copper is the top. Aluminum also split. That come down. But aluminum is the top, so I actually do need to do something like that. Yeah, I'm getting less and less confident I want to use deadlock stacking. So I just think about how much wasted potential we have here. It just, I mean, we're going to end up with an entire stack of aluminum in this building, plus an entire stack of copper here, and then I just feel like it gets more and more crazy. But it does allow us to not have to worry about a huge bus for each resource, which is nice. We'll get bots as soon as we can, and we can leave this world behind. But there we go, we've got aluminum. Did I not connect up the copper? Looks like I did not. Whatever this building is, or this row, we haven't figured out the other rows yet. Kind of just taking it as it comes. Yeah, there we go. We can just jumpstart this with a stack of aluminum. Jumpstart these guys with a stack of aluminum. And there we have it. Duralumin is fully automated. It's a thing of beauty. And that will come out of this. Does Duralumin stack? I was imagining it does. Yep. Should I stack Duralumin is the question. And the answer is, why the heck not? Stacking everything else. I guess we're just a stacking family. Alright, and I will have that come up and actually meet with the aluminum. Like that. Okay, sweet. We did the things we set out to do. Episode's just about right in terms of length, so I think I'll call it quits here. Let's see. Check that off our list. And then we can work on tin, glass. We kind of already have our coke, so we don't need that. We can work on chromium. And then after all that, we'll have to dive into the AlienLife stuff, because I believe there's at least 3 or 4 different organic things we have to automate and deal with before we can really get our circuits and green science automated. So we're still a long way from green science, but we're making some good progress. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.